Dan and Corey here, welcoming you into Libservative.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back.
Yeah, welcome in to another rousing rendition of Libservative, intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy and the world's smartest internet show. Bell the Bodysnatcher on the ones and twos. He, as always, except for last week, is Corey Walsh.
And the week before. And he's Dan Griffin.
Yeah, Corey, nothing happened since you went on vacation.
I know, it seems like it. It seems like a pretty boring week.
Don't know why we're doing a show. There's nothing going on in the world.
Florida.
I bet you enjoyed yourself.
The sign fucking says that when you're rolling in. It says, welcome to Freedom, Florida. And then right after that is a fucking mandatory stop for search for commercial and rental vehicles. and then you get to your place and you have to use your ID to watch porn. There is free.
Yeah, not as free.
Schools are just caged in because of all the immigrants.
Freer than Minneapolis right now. That's for sure. We're definitely going to get to that story. Obviously. The top story of the day, which is this shooting in Minneapolis. But a few things happened before that in the past few previous days. Something happened with Maduro. I don't know. Some dude kidnapped him out of his house for justice or something.
Was it drugs? Was it oil?
Yeah, something about drugs. Qualified immunity did apply in the, in the Maduro kidnapping, just so everybody's aware. I mean, Pam Bondi would probably say so. And we have a cybersecurity nerd telling us that we have to dial back the First Amendment in order to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, when I don't think about it.
Which is most people now, Corey. Here's what I've noticed in the discourse over these last, I don't know, whatever it's been, 5-6 days. All the days run together when like the news cycle is not just 24 hours, but literally like second to second. Is that I'm noticing more and more that all of the discourse with people online it's literally just, what can I do to get the other team to defend something ridiculous, and how do I own that person? And that's it. That's all it is. That's all Twitter is. That's all Facebook groups are anymore when it comes to political discourse. Absolutely no nuance. It's just, how are we going to get the libs to defend Maduro now? For Trump's next trick, he will get liberals to defend Putin. Like, these are the kinds of posts you see. The brain rot, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'm really curious to see if a Democrat takes the presidency in 2028, how that narrative flips. How are we going to get MAGA to defend this ridiculous thing? It's already happening, just not as quite as, large of a clip because, you have Trump as president right now. I know you see it. I know you see it, Corey.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's... Watch, like, if you picture a football field.
They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Would look like, I can't even think of anything, like a pool table because of all the holes, I guess. I don't know. That goalpost gets moved so fucking much, dude. It's absolutely insane. It's so crazy I couldn't even think of one of my good little metaphors or similes.
Are you attached to the right mic?
Uh-oh. I might not be.
You sound a little off. I checked mine before we started the show.
Nope. Oh, Lord, please! Thing unplugged. Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah. I haven't had my mic plugged into my laptop for 2 weeks, Dan. I was down in Florida.
Now you sound like a professional. You're not. But you sound like one.
I do my best. Just trying to fake it till I make it, brother.
So Maduro was captured a few nights ago. And I'm curious, what's your initial take on this entire thing, Corey? Before we even get into the details, into the nitty gritty, into what Tom Cotton and fucking Lindsey Graham had to say, what was your reaction? What was your reaction?
So if you listen to our show, we've actually talked about this buildup for a while with the blockades and whether or not we are going to invade. I had the impression that it was typically just a geopolitical in one scenario it'd be a geopolitical chess piece that Trump had to try to get the Ukraine war to stop, because that's right now the world's divided in the east and the west of America and Russia and China and Iran. And they're butting heads, and Russia's trying to take Ukraine. So now we're moving chess pieces to try to take their little allies in the Western Hemisphere. So I thought it might be that. Or it was about the oil. The oil didn't make sense to me because they were already offering it. And so we had all these scenarios are we going into another regime change war? So much for no new wars. Is this just him trying to bully people to get what he wants? What I did not have on the bingo card sheet at all, Dan, was just kidnapping him. And I'd like to be a fly on the wall in that room. And it was probably Trump's idea, to be honest with you. That motherfucker, he was one of those you can use bleach for COVID. Remember when
Corey, Corey, you know what it is? You know that scene in Austin Powers where Dr. Evil's got the fucking laser beam on the moon, and they're having that meeting in the Situation Room, and they're like, we could just blow up the moon. And the president's like, would you miss it? Would you miss it?
Yeah, that they're all sitting here God, what do we do about this? How do we play this right? We got this dictator down there. We're trying to create the narrative that we don't like drug trafficking. Now he's narco terrorism. We made that one up. That one didn't go over well. We tried to use the playbook from Iraq. No one's fucking buying it. What do we do, guys? Someone just goes, I don't wish we could just kidnap him. Hold that thought, Jim. Write that one on the whiteboard. Put a pin in that one. We'll circle back to that one.
And then as Charlie Day
more and more
right
ideas,
back to
they're all right, they're wiping off the other ideas, and they're well, the only one that's left is kidnapping. Fuck it, let's do it, I guess. And they fucking did it. I think I was in Knoxville. That happened, Saturday morning?
Yes. Late Saturday or early Saturday morning, I believe.
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember. All the days are running together. Doesn't really matter which day it was.
My hotel in Knoxville. The super nice hotel. I think it was a Hilton. There was
Nobody's ever been hit like that.
I don't know if you guys heard about that one yet.
Which one? Sorry,
the Hilton,
I wasn't listening.
Hilton Hotel, I think in Minneapolis, was telling ICE agents were making reservations there, and then they were showing up. They were going, "Oh, sorry, we can't give you that room." And there's evidence of it, because fucking it got to the point where Hilton had to cut that branch from their name. They're no longer affiliated with Hilton Hotels.
Daddy, you're my daddy.
So it really did happen. Yeah, just woke up in my nice hotel that smelled like cigarettes, and the pool was cold, which was shitty. But downtown Knoxville was nice for what I saw. I walked a couple blocks.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I woke up anyways. Sorry. It's been a while since I've done this.
Stay on point.
2 weeks.
And Donald Trump is a bad guy. He's a bad person.
It's just Donald Trump extradites Nicolas Maduro to America in military exercise or something like that. The way the headline was murdered, and I was like, "Wait, what? The fuck? What?" And I read it again, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I went and looked up and make sure a couple other news outlets were reporting it, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" And then I texted you guys about it.
It's so funny because I was up decently early for a Sunday morning that day.
Saturday morning.
Or Saturday, whatever it was, a weekend morning. I was up earlier than I normally would be, and I'm looking through, and I'm like, oh my God, now everybody's a Venezuela expert, and it's not even fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. Now everybody's an expert on Maduro's policies. Everybody's an expert on how horrible of a dictator he is, and how we're going to be greeted as
other shit that they've read in their little political bubbles of their Facebook groups or TikTok people they follow. They're just regurgitating everything they're saying.
Do I have to give the caveat that I don't support Nicolas Maduro? Do I have to say that? I feel like you have to say that.
Think people did. It wasn't a real election, right? He won by 70%, but
I will say this, Corey, based on your like initial reaction, Trump he does this like weirdly brilliant thing. This is what he's been doing his whole time, right? Because he ran on like this whole no new wars thing, right? So he does this thing.
He does everything to start a war without starting a war.
Right. We started with the Iran thing, right, where he goes and he bombs the nuclear sites, which by the way did nothing because Iran is rebuilding as we speak. And then he goes and does this. And he just keeps trying to walk that line to where he can kind of go to his supporters and be like, well, I didn't really start a war. We just arrested a criminal, which, by the way, is unbelievably unconstitutional. Pam Bondi comes out I think it was Pam Bondi. I could be one of the sycophants in his administration comes out the following day and talks about how, it was Mike Lee talking about Article 2. And I'm like, Article 2 of what? Because he didn't say what. I'm assuming he meant Article 2 of the Constitution, where it was designed to prevent an imminent attack. Does anybody really believe that there was an imminent attack coming from Venezuela? Does anybody really believe that that's true?
Imminent? Right, imminent, obviously means like about to happen.
It's a foggy word.
Unless it was on maybe one of the blockade ships. Like, who knows? Who knows? There could have been. There's to regurgitate someone I saw on TikTok. We're shitting on that. They were talking about when it comes to
we're such hypocrites.
The biggest load that we've seen.
They were talking about the idea like when you're a superpower, you have to know when to navigate using that power and using restraint, and that's how you stay in power. And the reason, like the fact that they actually did this, like what was there that we don't know that made them decide to do this? I refuse to believe, like Trump himself, if he was the only one making these calls. Like, I know he's the figurehead, he's the commander in chief, but there is pushback. He's got advisors and stuff. You could see it more likely, but for everybody to be on board with it, it's like, okay, what was used to compel them to even think this was a justifiable reason? Could have been
being surrounded by neocons. That's what it is. He's still surrounded by neocons.
What's also interesting about it is, everyone now is saying, so, like, all the liberals are like, oh, so it was about oil. It was never about the drugs. Take that, MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it is?
Right, exactly.
Not even, and then when you try, like, I was saying this to somebody, I was like, it's like it's kind of like a pointless distinction, but also one that I think should be made. It's not about the oil. It's about the petrodollar. It's not about us just having oil. We have, like, we're a net exporter. We export oil. But having complete control of it keeps it a large portion of the US dollar being traded in US dollars, not bricks. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Venezuela, I think, was, sorry, Russia and China, you have to keep giving us money if you want the oil you were getting, but now you have to buy it in US dollars and not bricks.
Liberty threw it out there. It's about the Don Roe doctrine. Get more influence and control on the continent. I think, in the hemisphere, because that I've heard. Oh my God, I've heard the word hemisphere so many times in the last 5 days.
This is our hemisphere,
and everybody is such an expert on the Monroe doctrine now.
It pisses me off. You know what pisses me off, Dan? Okay. Not a fan of this scenario.
And sphere of influence. Oh my God, how many times I've heard that phrase. And that's how you can always tell when you're being propagandized, when like these new phrases come out, or like old phrases that haven't been used in a really long time, and everybody keeps saying them over and over and over again. We heard it 2003, weapons of mass destruction. Nobody was using that phrase before 9/11. Nobody was using it, at least not on any like grand scale, right? And now you're hearing words like narco-terrorism and sphere of influence and talks of the Monroe Doctrine, which, by the way, Donald Trump is absolutely bastardized because he thinks the Monroe Doctrine means that we just get to do whatever the fuck we want inside of the hemisphere, which is not what the Monroe Doctrine says at all.
Top of my head, the Monroe Doctrine says that we can defend this hemisphere from Europe trying to gain influence in like South America.
Right, but all of those nations should have their sovereignty. It doesn't just mean we get to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. Those nations, keeping those nations sovereign and away from influence from any other continent.
Sphere of influence.
Pisses me off about this, Dan. Not saying I'm for this, and I'm not saying I'm for like the other wars like Iraq and Afghanistan, but you mean to fucking tell me that we spent 20 goddamn years over in the Middle East in those two countries and we could have just abducted these motherfuckers in the first place and called it a day?
Well, we couldn't find Bin Laden. At least that's what they always say.
Yeah. We couldn't find
him. Such a good hider.
We found Luigi Maggione in a couple hours, and we just woke Maduro up and was like, "Hey, come on,
bruh,
come on,
you going for a ride?"
Found Saddam Hussein in a spider hole. That's what they called it, a spider hole in the ground. This guy was just chilling in a palace. You mean to tell me that, laying in his double king size bed, chilling with his wife?
Daddy, you're my daddy.
Before, that's what I mean. Like before the war started, right? Like you could have just fucking just abducted him.
I don't know, man. I know Osama bin Laden. He was a good cave jumper.
This geopolitical move either, but you know, it's objectively, it does make sense what they're doing when it comes to the geopolitical chessboard, right? Russia is trying to expand their influence to take Ukraine. We got Europe fighting that one. China's saber rattling a lot about Taiwan, and now
they are. Well, now they are. All you have done now
is
all you have done now is just made it so much easier for China to justify invading Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Taiwan,
and then the Israel and the shit going on in Israel with Gaza justifies what Russia is doing to Ukraine.
Right, and also, by the way, just as a small aside, we don't have to go into this because I don't want people to think I'm like Candace Owens or something. But it's awfully convenient timing when you have the Israelis trying to, annex more of the West Bank. That Americans maybe not going to talk about that so much anymore.
And
just saying,
and a shit ton of the Epstein file stuff being released.
Oh yeah, very convenient, very very convenient timing for all
that. Very convenient.
As another small aside,
buy Greenland.
Oh, yep. Whatever the distraction is.
Truman offered to buy Greenland. I looked into it just for like historical context. Like offering to buy countries and annexing countries and taking places isn't new.
No,
it's just it just feels old world because no one in our lives has seen it.
Right? Is it 2003 or is it 1918? I don't know what year it is.
We've watched it. We just don't know it. Yugoslavia. You know what I mean? Just goodbye. The dissolution of countries.
I was looking for a soundbite, but
just as a small aside about Taiwan, that's another funny one where it doesn't matter who the administration is. It doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump or Barack Obama or George W. Bush. It's this idea of we got to protect that democracy in Taiwan. That's a democracy in Taiwan. We have to protect that democracy. Bro, you wouldn't give a fuck. You wouldn't give a fuck about that quote unquote democracy if they weren't making your goddamn chips. And I can tell you right now, if China takes Taiwan, Sagar and Jetty made this point. I think he was half joking, but honestly, I think it's possible that it might happen. If Taiwan falls to China, the American government is going to start confiscating your fucking Xbox because they're going to need all of the chips they can possibly get to run whatever it is that they need to get done inside of the federal government. So why is Taiwan important? It's not because they're a democracy. Nobody gives a shit about that.
I feel like yes and no. I'm sure there's places in America that are making these types of chips, just not at scale like Taiwan.
Not at that scale.
Like that's just it, at scale. And if we do really know anything about America, ramping up production on things, I mean, I know that our industry base isn't what it was in the 40s, but we just have a way of figuring shit out. I don't know, because you leave the people to their own devices and they just look at a problem and they're not being told how to do it, just like, or not what to do, but you get what I mean. Like, people gotta just get together, kind of
I'm not allowed to stand up
figure
for
things
myself?
out on their own.
I thought this was America.
Plus, you know that America right now is just grabbing every single goddamn person they can from Taiwan and all the technology that they can. They're taking all that shit, pulling it back home. And China says, and Japan says that they're going to defend Taiwan if China invades. So we already have our person doing that, and we'll just fund it.
I'm glad you brought up Japan. That's another interesting...
Dude, yeah, what the fuck is going on? You know what? I am glad I brought up Japan, because now
I think you're going a different direction than me, but go ahead.
Biggest historically empire minded people, the Germans and the Japanese, are building up their armies again.
We've been here before. Again, is it 1918? Is it 1940? Is it 1930? I don't know what it is.
That's why I just said it hasn't even been 100 years. That's why it's interesting to me. But I will say this really quick.
Go ahead.
Last week, Taiwan had an F-16 and its pilot disappeared in what they're calling an anomaly during their
Go Bills
over the South China Sea. So I think America invading Venezuela is definitely emboldening China to run amok over there in Taiwan, dude.
Well, that's the whole point. That's why I'm glad Corey brought up. That's why I'm glad Corey brought up Japan, right? Because people want to use this phrase, sphere of influence.
I'm sorry to cut you off real quick, Dad, but Belle, what media outlet said that? Was it a Taiwanese media outlet or was it an American outlet?
Business Insider.
This was an American one. So they might be trying to play their cards close and not let the American people that war is imminent. And maybe it was, and maybe that's why we took out Maduro to seize all that oil, because China got a lot of their oil from there.
But again, we want to use this phrase, sphere of influence, right? And we have to get back our sphere of influence in the Western Hemisphere. And to be honest with you, in principle, I don't really have a problem with that. The problem that I have is when... No. The problem that I have is that there's this weird American exceptionalism bullshit idea. We're the only ones that's allowed to do that. China's not allowed to do that in their sphere of influence. Russia's not allowed to do that in their sphere of influence.
They are, actually. They're doing it right now.
Well, exactly. They're doing it now, but
right. And I'm sure over there, their exceptionalism is saying what we're doing is justified, but what America's doing is evil. It's the same conversation over there as it is here, just reversed.
Right, but how long have we invaded the sphere of influence, or the American government invaded the sphere of influence of those two nations? For how long has that been taking place? And now all of a sudden,
40 years,
more than that. I mean, you're talking post World War II.
Yeah, but
since then,
but the power on that side was free. That's why it was the Cold War, right? They were scary. They're still not really a threat short of nuclear war right now. Back then,
okay, fair enough. So it got to a fever pitch after the Cold War was over.
After when they fell, we had a chance to really go, all right, world, we could finally be at peace. But instead, we kept inching in closer and going, we're just making sure, dude. We're just making sure you're not going to do nothing. We don't trust you. But on our TVs, we'll say we trust you. The Cold War is over. But we don't really trust you.
But that's
what happened in the 80s. Because before that, Russia and China and all them were not so much China actually, but Russia was taking land and fighting, and that's why we were doing it during that time too. It's the mindset was what are we supposed to do? Not do that.
But you understand what I'm saying as far as sphere of influence is really convenient to be used when you're talking about the Western
100%,
Hemisphere.
100%.
But it's not. It's a very inconvenient narrative when you start to move to the Far East, to Russia.
Even though we still call East and West, the Western Hemisphere. You know what I mean? That's still referenced all the time.
Well, they are geographical realities, Corey.
Right, but when they talk about it, right, they talk about the West. Well, the Western Allies We have allies in the East too.
We're not supposed to. It's not our sphere of influence.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How about that, right? Talking about a sphere of influence. Like, we got Japan, got all those fucking islands, the Midway Islands, Hawaii, Guam, South Korea, the Philippines. Talk about
Bill, I don't remember what this video was. But you got the Tom Cotton video? Because I feel like if I sent it to you, he said something dumb. So I have to know exactly what it was. And it was shared by, I think it was shared by Aaron Rupar. I can't remember what this was, but I am excited to have my memory refreshed. Go ahead, throw it up there, Bill. Oh God. Look at all those stiffs on that set.
Or any of the committees notified in advance notice of this operation?
Not in advance, and that's probably one reason why it didn't leak over these 4 days, as they are waiting for the right weather. But let me just make an analogy here. Again, Congress isn't notified when the FBI is going to arrest a drug trafficker or a cyber criminal here in the United States, nor should Congress be notified when the executive branch is executing arrests on indicted persons. And that's really what you can make the analogy to here. In fact, the FBI was part of this operation, part of the arrest of Maduro and his wife, who were indicted here in the United States. So Congress doesn't need to be notified every time the executive branch is making an arrest. And that's exactly what happened this morning in Venezuela. And now Maduro is going to come to the United States and he's going to face justice.
Was Congress or any of the
But
committee?
do you know what Congress should be notified about? A fucking act of war.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the bullshit that they keep trying to play. They keep trying to do this thing where it's like, well, this was an arrest. We arrested a criminal. He was indicted in the United States. And those things all may be true. Right? But so Corey, if you're suspected of a drug crime, you're indicted in the United States, and you take off for France, does the United States just like send the CIA in to come grab your ass? No, we have extradition laws. So there's a little bit of a catch-22 with regards to Maduro, because Maduro was the leader of the goddamn country.
Right.
They wanted to extradite them.
Like, here's where all like the legal shit falls into play, to where it's like they probably will get away with this because they weren't.
Who's going to stop them?
Well, might makes right, sure, but also all the Western countries, including even our government, not Trump, but Biden, all did not recognize Maduro as their leader.
I get it, but you know what that comes back to?
A sovereign country.
That comes back to, you don't get to be a country, or in this case, you don't get to be a leader unless we say you get to be a leader. You don't get to be a country unless the United States, the West, the powers say you get to be a country or a leader.
Right.
And listen, I want to be very forthright about something. It seems like Maduro probably fucking stole that election. Okay? The problem is, there are enough people in the United States that believe our elections have been stolen. Depending on which side of the aisle you fall on, depends on which election you think was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like this is an abnormal concept. It is up to the Venezuelans to remove their shitty leader from power. Not another nation.
Right.
In any way,
unless
shape,
the
or
election
form.
just gets stolen every time. But then it seems like I can't wait until they add Trump to Civilization 7, Western Hemisphere. Here I come.
Trump will demand it. Honestly, that would probably mean more to him. That for those who don't know what Civilization 7 is, it would be a future video game.
Norway's stupid because they didn't give him the fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
That's what I was going to say. I think being in Civ 7 would mean more to Donald Trump than the Nobel Prize would.
All right, I got a question. Do you think he's going to pardon this asshole too for drug trafficking?
I don't even want to speculate on that. Because I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm trying to think now of like all of the. Go ahead, Bell.
Say he pardoned that Honduran guy, Juan Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact shit.
Yeah, so
which is why it was never about drugs. Go ahead, Corey.
Right, but here, so thinking of all like the different scenarios, right, and like what exactly was going on, how this was ramping up, and all that stuff. Now, this is pure speculation, tinfoil hat, if you may. Okay, what if this was the off ramp?
I'd be surprised, but I would eat crow.
What if
we find out that that's the case?
Well, and not just as in this was the off ramp to end the thing, like as in Maduro went willingly because there was like kind of decisions made, like between the two, like look, you need to get out of power.
Interesting conspiracy theory. I like it.
We want you out of power. If you want to live, we're going to arrest you. You're going to get tried in court, and you'll probably get off, and then you just go to Iran or
you'll get exiled to the Isle of Elba like Napoleon,
right, or something like that, right? Because like, why'd they take his wife? Also,
I guess they beat her up too. Like she had bruises on her face.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That might have been from Maduro, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sure that might have been from Maduro.
He beat the shit out of her before they showed up in front of the Chinese delegation.
We got a domestic disturbance call.
Yeah. That was the whole reason. It was never about drugs. We heard you're beating up your wife.
No, but it's like, okay, fine, I'll go with you, but let my wife come with me.
I mean, they roughed her up.
Send him to Epstein Island. We'll never know what happens to him then.
Yeah, you could, I mean, honestly,
Liberty Twitcher also did say this. It's not just about Venezuela. It's about Cuba too.
Yeah, I know. We haven't gotten there yet. We're getting there. That is the Lindsey Graham portion of the program.
Well, I got that
we
video.
Have to get to.
I don't know if you also have it, but I have that video.
Which one? Lindsey Graham was it the one where he's on Air Force One? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll get there.
But like trying to just think of like what, like when I say all these different things of like what's going on and stuff, it's trying to make sense of it.
Well, nobody needs to make sense of it. Nobody needs to make sense of anything. Everybody just knows.
Yeah.
Like the minute it comes out, everybody's an expert.
It's just the geopolitics of it all. It's wild to see. It's nothing we've seen in our lifetimes. This is stuff that happened in the 50s all the time, but there wasn't social commentary and everyone wasn't able to read everyone else's thoughts about it. It was just a couple TV channels that told you what to think.
You also didn't have a president who has diarrhea of the mouth either. You didn't have that going on even 10 years ago. You didn't have that. Huh?
Truman was a bit of a loudmouth, but he wasn't on social media. There wasn't social media.
Could you imagine Truman on Truth Social?
It'd probably be similar to Trump. He's a little guy and he tried to act so big and tough.
He did have a little man complex, didn't he? A little bit. 100%. Yeah.
Because he had a younger brother, I think, either a younger or older brother that was like bigger and stronger and tougher than him. What I do give him credit for.
Truman
yeah.
How did we get on Truman? That's right. We don't know. That's right. We don't know what year it is.
Right. So Eisenhower was the first president to ever have nukes on his own, right? With no other countries having them. And you have to give him credit for using, because like all of his staff was trying to pressure him to just bomb Russia, just get him out of just end him, just get rid of him. And he had the
that would have been a great off ramp.
He had a restraint to not use the bomb when there was no retribution for it. Truman was the first president to face the scenario where now other people have them and use the restraint and not try to do some sort of like offensive action to end it. That's, that's something to, because the president after him already has 4 years of history.
How is that possible? How is that possible? Because Truman was before Eisenhower.
Then switch it. I'm sorry. I got him wrong. I got him backwards.
You got him reversed. Okay. Fair enough.
Bad. Which makes it even more admirable of Truman for not doing it.
Yeah. Good for him.
Very successful, very rich.
Absolutely. Trump did become the first president to bomb 7 countries in a single year, though. That's pretty impressive. It's good stuff. Showing that American might. And his supporters are turning to the usual tropes.
Nobody's ever been hit like that.
That's right. I try to let it roll off my back, but they just turn to the usual tropes: the narco-terrorism, the drug trafficking, Hezbollah,
and it's so funny how
a criminal
because like it's moving so fast, and if you're like, oh, so I guess it wasn't about the boats, and they're like, never mind the boats. Dude, this is going on now.
Exactly. Oh my God! How quickly everybody forgot about the boats. Nobody's talking. Well, they're talking about one boat in between the UK and Iceland earlier today that was seized by the United States. Was it the Coast Guard and the Navy were involved in this seizure of this boat?
Yeah.
We don't have to talk. I don't want to talk a ton about this because like we can kind of touch on it, but I don't want to talk a ton about it because we don't know shit. And anybody who pretends that they know something is lying to you. We don't know shit. Venezuelan tanker. Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead. I want to know what Elder has to say.
Elder said, what I can't figure out is taking over most of the Western Hemisphere the most America first thing ever, or is keeping your nose out of everyone's business and focusing on just the USA better?
The latter.
The latter.
It's the latter. I mean, you have...
Well, it's like Elon Musk, Donald Trump's relationship. It's complicated.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you understand, like, I'm not...
I would say the former if there was some sort of imminent threat that isn't like, there are drugs coming into the country.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, something. Yeah, like a bullshit excuse for something, right? But if it's protecting the value of the US dollar, I'm not trying to sound like an expansionist or a fucking neocon here, but that is something that is important to mine and yours, that directly affects mine and yours day-to-day life. And it's you feel like you're being a pig being held over a barrel, right? Like it's,
you know what?
I'm not happy about it.
You know what solves that problem? Free trade. I mean, at the end of the day,
or Dan,
free
the
trade
Fed and put us back on a gold standard.
Well, that's impossible. We've that ship has absolutely sailed.
There's not enough gold to back all the dollars out there running around.
Yeah, you know what's it's interesting. I don't know if you listened to the Cernovich episode of Tucker Carlson. He just dropped it like yesterday. Nope. And I had to listen to it because I generally like Mike Cernovich. He's wrong all the time, but I like him because he's a pragmatist. He lives in the real world. And that was kind of one of his points, is that he did the whole American might trope, but also right. Just like the whole, it's just nice to show the world that we still have the ability to do these things. Like, which I was like, okay,
it kills me too. It's like everyone knows we have a badass military. We can topple a country, or with our straight up military, or with our CIA ops if we want to. It's not the problem. We can conquer a country, no problem.
Right. So that was another point.
The problem is the nation building we haven't figured the fuck out.
Right. So that was another point that he made. Everybody says, well, we lost the Afghan war. We didn't lose the Afghan war. We didn't lose the Afghan. We didn't lose the Iraq war. We went in and kicked ass in both of those wars. The problem wasn't the winning of the war. The problem was all of the shit that came after the war.
Right.
The problem was the insurgencies. The problem was the what's the word I'm looking for? The destabilization of the region that we caused. And I guess you could say that Trump, by not going into Venezuela and toppling the entire regime and saying, hey, Madam Vice President, you can have this country, but you better fucking listen to what we have to say. I guess you could say that's a little bit different.
If I just had a funny thought project, thought game.
I remember what I was going to say about Cernovich, by the way. My thought just went away, but go ahead.
Was that my fault?
Probably, but that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I love you anyway.
I just paid $88.
How fast this narrative would flip if Trump turned around and did this to Netanyahu?
I'd have to marinate on that one because I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble.
Right. But no, the Democrats,
Go Bills.
The Democratic base, not the Democratic Party. Anyone who's bought out by AIPAC, but all these leftists and stuff would be like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool." And then a lot of like the right, other than like the old school conservatives and like the Christian nationalists, would be like, "Oh, all right, cool." And then all the neocons who were like for the Venezuelan thing would be like, "Well, this sucks."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this conversation is playing out well. And it's why we do this show, because you can't do it online with the plebs because it's all about owning people.
Dude, I still
one of the things I noticed was
so
like
goddamn bad sometimes when I see people just post just the stupidest, most uninformed post.
That's why you have to stay away, because
I do.
It's kind of why you have to stay away, and I do my best to stay away, because all I saw.
We do it here, Dan.
Why I know, and all I saw, and I'm still seeing it today, but for the first whatever it was, 4, 5, 6 days, whatever we're on now, was just the same old neoconservative talking points. Are we in 2003 all over again? The language has changed, right? We're using terms like narco-terrorism instead of just terrorism. These are just propaganda terms. Nobody knows what they mean. Fucking John Bolton or somebody like that probably made up the term narco-terrorism 2 fucking years ago, and your grandpa just heard it for the first time while he's watching Sean Hannity. And Sean Hannity, all people ever count on, and I'm going to steal a line from Dave Smith here, Sean Hannity just relies on you being a fucking moron when he presents to you. That's what they count on with the boomer generation and some of the older Gen Xers and some of the younger Gen Xers and honestly, some millennials at this point. Mm-hmm. And it's drug trafficking, it's narco-terrorism, it's Hezbollah, it's we're going to be greeted as liberators. And how do you know that's bullshit? Because we saw within minutes, Corey, within minutes of this news breaking, fake videos of Venezuelan, quote unquote Venezuelans, celebrating the fall of Maduro. So there's 2 points to this, right? One is Elon Musk posted a fake video, and I'm really upset because we just gave this guy a shit ton of credit on the show last week for his reporting on the Somali fraud issue. But fucking Nick Shirley posting fake-ass videos from 2 years ago about people, and I don't even think it was in the same place. It was like in Chile or Miami or something like that. And none of these people are taking the shit down. It's so easy to get people to go, look, the Venezuelans are celebrating. And you know what? I'm sure a bunch of Venezuelans are celebrating. But I offer you this in response to that. Number one, how dare you have the arrogance to think that you speak for the entire Venezuelan population? And number two, imagine if somebody, not that this could ever happen, but imagine if somehow in the middle of the night, the Russians just came over and kidnapped Donald Trump. You don't think there would be plenty of Americans that would be celebrating the fact that Donald Trump has been taken out and removed from office, and then the Russian government said, you know what, J.D. Vance, we don't want this to go too far. We'll go ahead and let you take over, but you better listen to what the fuck we want you to do. Right. You don't think there would be a huge percentage of Americans that would celebrate that situation? How dare you speak for everyone?
I just looked up the population of Venezuela, and it's 28 million. Okay.
Which is like the size of LA County for anybody counting.
And if you had, let's say there were big celebrations. Let's say there were 2.8 million people out in the streets celebrating. That's still only 10% of the population. That's 90% of the population. Like, if you wanted to do it as if it was binary, right? Like, you're either for it or you're adamantly against it. That's 90% of the country. That's still what would that be? 4.2 right?
I don't know, dude. I'm not a math. That's why I'm not a mathematician.
24.2 million people that aren't out there. Like that always killed me because like when they would show things with Trump, they're like, obviously Trump's the most popular guy in the world ever. He has
a lot of people say it, Corey. A lot of people say it.
He has 60,000 people at his rallies, and it's like, okay,
you're fired. Get out of here.
You know, it's like, okay, you know, there's 300 million people in the country. People do the same thing for sports. And then when they do like the big protests against him, and they're like, there was 1 million people out there, and it's like, okay, there was 299 million people that weren't there. It's like the ratio.
You've done a hell of a lousy job.
You also have to
like it's real easy
it does.
to get a video of 100 people on a phone and make it look like a lot of people.
Oh yeah, Trump did it at his inauguration.
Right.
A couple of times. You know what I mean? Like he does it like this is the biggest crowd ever. Everybody said it was the biggest crowd. A lot of people said it. They all said it. Everyone said it. Everyone agrees. Everyone knows. But you also have to factor in the fact that like people are talking to like Venezuelans that live in Florida or like live in the United States. It's like
right.
There's probably
who actually probably escaped.
Right. There's probably a reason they're not in Venezuela anymore. So it would stand to reason that they would they would
like, isn't it great? You can go back now.
Oh yeah. Except we didn't topple
Daddy,
the regime.
you're my daddy.
The oil angle. Bell, you got that video, right? Trump was on Fox and Friends. I want to say it was that Sunday. I don't remember. Like I said, all the days run together. It doesn't matter. The timeline doesn't matter. It was all within the last week.
Another thing I'm going to say about this is if you don't think there's a bunch of countries that aren't on our good side, like little countries that aren't trying to make a mad dash right now for a bomb, you're crazy. And if you think that now that North Korea or Iran or anyone is going to give up any of their nuclear capabilities, you're even fucking crazier.
No, I agree. Like, that's the one thing that Kim Jong-il / Kim Jong-un got right. It's like, yeah, you're not going to fuck with us if we have a nuke. Why wouldn't you want one?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it, Bell.
The countries that negotiate with Venezuela for those that illegal oil are already starting to suffer. What do you see as the future of Venezuela's oil industry?
Well, I see that we're going to be very strongly involved in it. That's all. I mean, what can I say? We have the greatest oil companies in the world, the biggest, the greatest, and we're going to be very much involved in it.
I just paid $88.
Like and we're prepared. You know, we were prepared to do a second wave. We were all set and this was so lethal. This was so powerful that we didn't have to, but we're prepared. We're out there with an armada like nobody's ever seen before, and we're prepared. And we're prepared, and frankly, probably thought we were going to have to do it, but we were prepared for a second wave going in.
The countries that negotiate with Venezuela for those that illegal oil are already starting to suffer. What do you see?
It's replaying.
It's replaying. Yeah. So to your point, Corey, for everybody saying that it's about the oil, you made this point a few minutes ago. It sounds like that, and it's really a simple way to look at it. But as you said, Corey, it's really more about the petrodollar. We're seeing that with the ship that was captured in the North Sea that escaped the blockade, escorted by Russian submarines. I think I have that correct. Like, we could be wrong about all of this tomorrow, but from what we know now, escorted by Russian submarines, flying a false flag, which I guess Bell did a deep dive into this today because I didn't have time to do it. According to maritime law, makes you wide open and available to be captured. And the Americans got there before the Russians did and boarded this ship. And I don't think I know what's happened since then.
I don't know.
We'll find out in the coming days. Stay tuned. Yeah. Nothing. We'll find out in the coming days.
So, like Bell said in the text, I just looked it up again. Flying a false flag can render a vessel legally stateless under international maritime law, making it vulnerable to boarding and seizure by any nation. as it loses the protection of
legal pirating.
Well,
any nation really willing to board the boat, because once you're
piracy is already happening.
Right, but piracy, I mean, it's technically legal depending on where you are in the ocean. Like it's a weird thing, but pirates don't fly a flag. That's why they're considered stateless, but they're not defenseless. So that's the difference. So these oil tankers are, they're not defenseless, but the Russians really aren't doing nothing for them. But they're also not really allowed to. They're escorting a stateless ship. They would have to literally start a war with the United States or whoever's seizing these oil tankers in order to protect these oil tankers.
I guess my problem is, and call me a bleeding heart libertarian. My problem here is you're taking over a boat for getting through your blockade, trying to engage in free trade. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
No.
But when I say about piracy being back on the menu, I'm talking about privateers. You know how there's a difference between, like, a privateer is just someone who's a pirate who pirates everyone else but a country that's sponsored by that, or that's except for the country that sponsors them.
It's sponsored piracy. That's what you're looking for.
Right. Well, privateers. Well, Mike Lee is introducing a bill to make privateering legal again. American privateers.
For God's sake. What again? What year is it? Is it 1711 now?
Yeah, dude. That's why I said piracy's back on the menu, boys. We're talking about just, all right, as long as you only go after them, because that's what they did. Because like naval forces, like even now, compared to even the 1700s, naval forces as big as they are, the ocean is so fucking.
They're
massive.
cheating. They're crooked. They're corrupt.
Look at that boat behind Bell in the horizon there.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Bell is reporting from the ship that was being commandeered. I don't know why he doesn't have any information.
Spanish speaking. I don't know what's going on.
You've done a hell of a lousy job.
We're not sure who's more confused, the people on the ship or Bell. But I mean,
Bell's just high.
An example. It took them like 2 weeks or something like that. Like they were tracking this boat, and the UK helped them to find it.
Yeah.
And they were doing support missions like refueling ships and stuff like that.
Everything's computer.
So yeah, just like in the 1770s, 1700s, it's what?
Can I tell you why I'm for privateering?
Well, I mean, I want to be a pirate, so
I'm for piracy. I'm not for privateering.
I know you do. Listen here? Do you know how much money we could make dropping some Somali pirates? You know what I'm saying? We'd be heroes amongst the. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that.
You mean like we as in like the federal government, or do you mean like we as in like you and me?
I mean, it depends on who's paying us. If
all we need is
the federal government's paying us, then it's we're doing it for the federal government, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's a free market.
Just reminds me of that scene in Tommy Boy. Quit playing with your dinghy.
We'll go steal the man of war from the Civil War. Ride around in an ironclad ship.
But with AK-47s instead of cannons.
Right.
No,
Bagels here. God damn it. Dan, I tried to make this show fucking twice and you talked over it and you made a soundbite. Bell is trying to chase booty.
It's a stupid joke. That's why I kept trying to do it.
No, you didn't. I know this is the world's smartest podcast, but you ain't Donald Trump planning some sort of secret mission over there.
You're gay.
It's just bullshit.
Dude, how about that? How about that post-game presser?
These idiots on cable news.
How about that post-game presser that Trump and Rubio, and I don't remember who the hell else was there. Was Lindsey Graham there, like smiling, thinking about Marco Rubio nude or whatever gay thing that Lindsey Graham likes to do? Who else was there? I don't remember who else was there. But the overwhelming thing that we heard was, I had the word overwhelming in front of me because it was a quote. It was quote unquote overwhelming might and power. This was from Marco Rubio. Look at how strong and mighty we are. This is not a direct quote, but Did Rubio really say? I have this. This is how I have it written in my notes. I'm going to read it to you. Did Rubio really just say that we saved $50 million as a nation? And he did. He said that because there was a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. And I went, how much do you think this operation cost? Because I'm willing to bet. Maybe it wasn't quite $50 million. Maybe it was way more. I don't know how much this shit cost to go kidnap a fucking leader of a nation off of a military base in goddamn Caracas.
Hundreds of millions because of all the planning and everything, all the bodies that went into this, all the boats, the jets, the planes, all the fuel. This is pre Venezuelan oil, Dan.
But that was Rubio's point. Like, we don't need to pay anybody the $50 million for the bounty on Maduro's head anymore. We took care of it ourselves. Like,
what about
this
the other money?
Do you understand? Do you understand how finances work? Yeah, I guess it is. Federal government.
Capture. Crazy. If you look in your tax code,
talking about how it's
foreign sovereign leaders.
It's tax deductible. I should honestly, I should go talk to my tax guy and see if maybe I could go like fucking capture, I don't know, MBS or no, he's an ally. What's another guy we'd like to capture? We already got Assad. Putin. Like how much can I write off if I go capture Putin?
The Ayatollah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do it. We just have to get our privateers licenses.
Oh my God. We have to get into the Lindsey Graham angle of this whole thing because you had mentioned Cuba. Dude, Lindsey Graham, the more and more this man speaks, the more and more I think, we're talking about this pre-show, I don't think Lindsey Graham is a human being. I don't think he has parents. I don't think he was like born of a mother. No, he wasn't even grown in a lab. He just emerged from the primordial ooze somewhere in the state of South Carolina. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have any kids, but that's just because he's a closeted homosexual and everybody knows it. But this man is, I'm dead serious. You know how they did the whole anti-Semite of the year thing? That weird fucking cat lady that did that whole thing and Tucker Carlson ended up winning. If somebody did like the most evil man in the world, Lindsey Graham would be in the running to win that award. And I think the only thing that would keep him from winning it is the fact that he speaks too much like a queer and the fact that he isn't as high profile. I do, Corey.
All I did was change the screen.
Kit. You broke it.
Anyways, I got some breaking news.
Oh, for fuck's
sake. A long one again. God damn it. Here is actual live footage of Lindsey Graham being born.
Oh, really?
I got this real quick. Yeah, it was easy.
I don't know where you found this.
Oh, great. Now you. What in the hell? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is happening?
Oh, can't breathe.
There he is.
He didn't sound nearly as closeted homosexual. And I don't even care. I just wish Lindsey Graham would come out of the closet.
He'd probably be a lot happier and stop trying to kill brown people.
I think he would, man. I don't think.
Maybe that's what he's attracted to the most, and he's just trying to kill his gayness.
I think he just needs to find himself a nice blood boy and enjoy the rest of his days sweating it out in South Carolina.
Yeah, at the Kentucky Derby, drinking mint juleps.
All he needs, he's from South Carolina, but I could see him there. He would definitely be wearing the gayest hat too.
Just like a dandy drinking mint juleps.
Got any of those mint juleps? I need to. Look, I think we just need to go back to Ukraine. We need to go back to Ukraine. I need those minerals so I can rub them on my ding dong. Dude, fuck Lindsey Graham. You got that video, Bell? Where he's because he already wants to go into Cuba.
He's probably that guy at a restaurant that just without asking just starts moving tables to like towards his table just to have more space because he just wants to keep expanding.
God, like hold on, before you play this video, Bell's got the still shot up on the screen right now, and it's Lindsey Graham poking his head out of with a weird fucking guy to his right. I don't know who the hell that guy is with the bald head, but he's poking his head out, and Trump is looking at him like he knows something about Lindsey Graham. Like I know something about you, dude. I know.
Yeah,
I know how many.
That's what he holds over him.
I know how many.
He's like, I got that footage from one of the Diddy's parties you were at.
I know how many ding dongs you've sucked, to quote Alex Jones.
I never sucked any ding dongs.
That's right. Got to add everybody back to the screen here. But yeah, go ahead and roll it, Bill.
Done it. And as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about.
So happy and gay.
You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people.
And I was jealous of them.
We're going to wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day. And everybody in the world is thinking differently than they were just a few days ago.
You're gay!
Could have done it. And as to this commander-in-chief, he did.
It's replaying.
Big,
God, is he gay?
fat pussycat.
Oh my God. He's so sexually frustrated that he has to
That's
anally rape
He's
other
attracted to brown
countries.
people. That's why he just kills them, because he hates what he sees, because he doesn't like himself.
Very, very, very unhappy with himself. Just a self-hating homosexual. And if he would just allow himself,
Daddy, you're my daddy,
to just succumb to his urges, I'm sure there's a blood boy out there that would happily take Lindsey Graham's millions that he's
Keep
earning in
using that
Congress.
term, and I'm not familiar with that. What's a blood boy?
Oh, it's like a young guy that like you give you bring him in and he like gives you his plasma and like his blood to like make you younger. It's like a whole thing. It's an Alex Jones thing, I think. Really conspiratorial stuff, but you know,
I think I've
sounds
heard
like something Lindsey Graham would like to do.
Yeah, probably.
Maduro isn't even hasn't even gotten out of his tracksuit yet. Back in the United States, and he's already like, you just wait for Cuba. We're gonna go get those Cubans.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? Like Maduro's in all these photos like this. He's like thumbing up, and like he's already gotten to change like 3 times. His perp walk, he had like a 10th of what they had for Luigi Mangione.
There you go. Luigi Mangione could be Lindsey Graham's blood boy. He's handsome. He's been in trouble.
Well, maybe it'll be a part of the plea deal.
I'm not going to let that little boy get away. I need him. I need him like I need those Ukrainian minerals. I could turn him into oil and rub him all over him. God, Lindsey Graham. Dude, the guy is like a Ninja Turtles villain. He came out of the primordial soup. And if he would just allow himself to get blown by a handsome young man, it might save the whole world. So like, if there are any gay men out there that are looking to save the planet, here's what we need you to do. We need you to seduce Lindsey Graham. And like literally, that is a blown nut that could save the planet. If you could just get it out of him.
Yeah, you might kill the guy, though.
Well,
it's all backed up.
No comment. What else do I have here? Fake videos, Nick Shirley. We already talked about that.
Fucking white people.
I don't think we have to go too much deeper. Do you have any closing remarks on this before we move on to Shlomo Kramer?
Well, I got this for Shlomo and Lindsey Graham. Oh, not that one. God damn it. Never mind. I got nothing.
Shut up, bitch.
There it is.
I knew which one you were looking for. We already talked about that. Okay, just to shift gears a little bit here. We have Bell. Get the video ready because people they got to see this. So, Shlomo Kramer is an Israeli cybersecurity nerd. I don't know if his first name gave that away, but
yeah, why does that name sound just like a stereotype?
Because it is. It's like Moish.
It's like
Shlomo.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being anti-Semitic just by saying it.
Well, many people would call you one, so it's okay, Corey. You're good. You're in good company. He founded Imperva in 2002, which is a data security company that went public in 2011. And he's now the CEO of Cato Networks, founded in 2015, a cloud-based network security provider. And he's the CEO. I want to know how many Americans agree with the statements that Mr. Shlomo Kramer gave to CNBC. I want to say this was late last week. Go ahead, Belle.
Network, Shlomo Kramer, also one of the founders of Checkpoint, another big cyber company. Shlomo, it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How is AI, cyber warfare, shaping geopolitics right now?
So AI is going to revolutionize cyber warfare, from critical infrastructure to the fabric of society and politics, and undermining it, giving unfair advantage to authoritarian governments against democratic countries. First Amendment type of...
That's already happening?
That's already happening. You're seeing the polarization in countries that allow for the First Amendment and protect it, which is great. And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need
Fuck yourself.
to control the platforms.
Oh, fuck
all
yourself.
The social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online, and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control the social media.
Should do that. And we need to educate people against lies, and government need to develop cyber defense programs that are as sophisticated as the cyber attack. Today, it's a 1 to 100 ratio. And really, government are not doing this today at any rate, and enterprises are left fending for themselves.
The technology is moving much faster than the political system typically can to respond to
so
it.
You need to use technology in order to stabilize the political system, and you need to put adjustments that are perhaps not.
I mean, we're at a point though,
necessary.
right? I mean, I can go on Instagram or TikTok, and frankly, it already is becoming unclear what is fake and what is real.
Exactly.
And once you eliminate that ability to discern truth from fiction, then what are you left with?
You are left with polarization of society and inner fighting, and you have to control that. And you see that already happening across the world. So this is an urgent need by the government to do that. And until then, enterprises are buying by themselves more and more cybersecurity solutions, but they can't afford all these solutions by themselves. So they are looking for ways to deliver more efficient.
Some of those ways, obviously.
Right. So, and that drives really the next generation of companies such as
my God.
CrowdStrike, Kate.
We can stop it.
Yeah, that started over.
Bell stop. Oh, did it start over? Okay.
I just removed it. It was on another page. You switched to a different thing, and it's like, and it was a good timing because it was actually repeating itself anyways. But yeah, no, fuck that. That's what I got to say about that. This guy clearly is coming.
Come on now, you expect me to believe that?
You take forever to say nothing.
He's coming from a place where he doesn't know what true free speech is, obviously, because of the fact that like he's just so easy to write it off like it's just something trivial. Like they're not going to be that upset if we're putting in 4 ice cubes versus 5 in their drinks. You know, like
yeah, it's like you lost me at we have to limit the free speech. We have to limit the First Amendment to protect it, Bubba. You ain't gonna get that to fly in the United States, at least not whole cloth.
That's the saddest part. Like, it's enough dummies would fall for that. And they're like, oh, well, there's
Sure,
a lot
of course.
fake stuff out there. Someone needs to moderate this.
Somebody's
But
got to
you're
do
also
something.
saying-
Somebody
you're
needs to
also
do
saying-
something.
When he's saying this, when you're reading between the lines, he's also saying, you Americans are too stupid to decipher this shit.
Shut up, bitch!
The government needs to do it for you.
So,
Arrest me
as a
for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
is that Shlomo or is that Maduro? Is that actual audio? Who is that actual audio of?
Arrested me for what?
So here's some comparisons to what Shlomo Kramer was saying with regards to limiting the First Amendment in order to protect it. Bell and I went over a few of these in our text thread. So we have, we must show children porn so that they won't watch it. We have to show them how dangerous it is so that they won't watch it. Are you doing that with your son, Corey? I hope so. So you have to.
He doesn't have an ID.
We must
To be clear,
force
I'm not making my kid watch porn. No.
Okay, well, you should, because that's the only way you can get him to not watch it. You have to show him what the bad thing is to get him to not watch it.
about that?
We must force women back to the kitchen to protect their rights.
Yes.
Just kidding.
And this was one of Bell's. Well, we must house soldiers in your home in order to protect you and the Constitution. And we must, of course, limit access to guns in order to protect your right to bear arms.
Come on now, you expect me to believe that?
These are things that he's essentially saying.
Right.
We have to limit your speech to protect your right to free speech.
Right. To protect the responsibility of the Second Amendment is we have to restrict guns to make sure that only people that we deem necessary or we deem okay to carry guns.
Worthy.
Yeah, like yeah, you know what I mean? Like, to protect the Second Amendment, we have to limit the Second Amendment because all these people are out there making other Second Amendment people look bad. So if we make it harder to exercise your Second Amendment rights, it'll protect your Second Amendment rights.
Those good law-abiding citizens, they can have all their guns. We promise. Wink,
The
wink.
Fifth Amendment is designed to make it so you can not have compelled speech, but sometimes it's important to force people to say things.
Yeah, of course.
To
Yeah.
protect you from not having to say those things.
Don't you like? It's honestly it's and it's not just Shlomo, right? There is just this constant.
See, I feel like you're
degradation.
just calling him a name when you say his name.
No, because that's his name. His name is Shlomo Kramer.
I know, but it just sounds weird.
It's not just Shlomo. I do like saying his name though. It really rolls off the tongue. There isn't like this.
It's just
there's this slow degradation of the Constitution.
Like when I try to think of a very Irish name, it's like, oh, Conor McGregor, and it's like, oh, yeah, that sounds very, very Irish. Like stereotypically.
Please don't do black people next, please.
I would never.
I thought that's where you were going.
Shut up, bitch!
Luigi Maggioni.
Yeah, dude. And we could say that because Bell's like super Italian, so like if he's not offended, no other. That's how it works, right? If you have the person.
I'll do it.
Hey, hey, I'm Italian.
I mean, Bella's more than welcome to do an Irish accent. I'm talking about Irish.
Oh, there's something about it. We eat your potato.
Drinking beer. Beer.
Do we have anything else? You got TikToks, right? Was there anything the shooting. Jesus Christ. I almost skipped right over the story of the day. The shooting in Minneapolis. Bell, I sent you the video, right? The full video. Should we play the full video? It's like 3.5 minutes. I think we should just roll the video.
We should play the video. Should we?
No one yeah, we can play the video.
The podcasters aren't even going to listen to it, and anyone watching has probably already seen it.
Okay, fair enough. We don't have to play the video.
Like when we do a narrative, do you want to do a quick synopsis? You know,
so, yeah, I think honestly, I think most people have seen this video. So earlier today, so we're talking January 7th. An American citizen who was allegedly, and more details are coming out as we go. It's a story with a lot of moving parts. Allegedly interfering in an ICE raid. Was shot by an ICE officer. Go ahead and roll. We don't have to play the whole thing, but like we can play the I guess
man.
The important part. No, it's extremely tough to watch. Go ahead and roll it, Bill. He gets out of the. By the way, it's funny that they're driving a Nissan.
No! Shame! Oh my
It happens so fast.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do? You are fucking criminals!
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Criminals!
So
What the fuck?
allegedly,
What the
right?
fuck?
And now,
Let's let it roll through until the officer walks back over.
You are fucking insane!
So the lady filming is walking up to the car that has
You-
crashed into the car.
Shame!
Here comes the officer walking,
Shame! Shame!
paying no attention, saying call 911.
Shame!
All right, now you can stop it, Bell.
Shame!
but so, you know, so like, yeah, so the ICE statement is she tried to hit them with her car, and so into self-defense they shot her.
Good. I'm glad you didn't assume the officer's gender. Go ahead.
And then people who are just watching the video who aren't following a narrative like that are saying she turned her wheel and tried to pull away. And that's when they shot her. Where, you know, like, again, this just happened. I try not to create at least on here, you know, I'm not trying to add more divisiveness to it by just assuming something happened. It doesn't look good. Definitely looks like the girl turned her wheel and tried to drive away. There's videos like that happened a little bit before that one. There was some cars going by and she's waving them through and letting them go. And she waves at this car. They stop and get out and they surround her car. And so she tries to leave. Where the shooting is on the car, it doesn't, and then the videos you see, it doesn't really fit a narrative that is.
Corey, if I can just add to that, they get out of their Nissan truck, and maybe you can't hear it in the audio, but it doesn't sound to me like any lawful orders are given. It doesn't sound like they're saying, maybe they did. Maybe they said get out of the car, but you can't see it or hear it in that video. And you just have an ICE officer rolling over and putting his arm in the inside of somebody's car. I mean,
all constitutionally, you know, like all the things breaking the Constitution.
And by the way, I don't know if we mentioned yet that she's an American citizen.
And she is an American citizen, a white woman. And now she has a 6-year-old daughter or son who is orphaned.
Who's an orphan. Yeah, because his father died.
Yeah. From what I'm reading, none of this stuff has been like super corroborated. It's a very fast moving thing. We started looking into it right before show prep. Either way, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
And here's where I went with this immediately, right? Because I first saw this video when it was posted by Max Blumenthal, and I might still have his tweet up. I do. I have the tweet that he posted along with the video, and he said
there's different angles of this.
So Max said this crystal clear video of ICE shooting a U.S. citizen in the head is what Trump's quote-unquote golden age looks like. A regime of terror capitalism imposed on subjects across the Americas to protect economic plunder by a decadent class of Zionist tech plutocrats. Now, you can make the argument that Max is being a little bit hyperbolic there. Okay, that's fine. The way I see it, when I saw this video from start to finish, and I went, even if you are the most ardent bootlicker who is totally supportive of the government's monopoly on violence and theft and back the blue through and through, obey a lawful order, stop resisting, those kind of people, if you're one of those, and you can get to a place where you find the shooting justified. Number one, I would say you're a bit of a heartless asshole. But more importantly, what do you think happens when an officer shoots somebody in the head who's speeding off? Does the car just stop? Because the answer to that question is no. Kind of luckily, the car happened to crash into a couple of parked cars, but what if those parked cars weren't there? And what if there were children playing in a yard across the street, and that woman's limp leg hits that pedal and just goes rolling off across these yards and takes out a couple of kids? What's the narrative then? So even if you were ardent, back the blue, no matter what,
reckless regardless. Yeah.
It's terrible policing no matter how you look at it. If you're a police officer and a fugitive, and not to say that this woman was a fugitive, but let's just put it in a situation where she was a fugitive, is about to run you over, you don't shoot that person while they're speeding off in a car. You get out of the way, or you take the broken foot, or you take the hit. So, even if this was a situation where
he shot at her after he was already out of harm's way of the vehicle, the bullets shot.
It is illegal for ICE to detain a U.S. citizen. Once
Correct.
they're proven to be a U.S. citizen, they can't do anything.
I mean, I guess if I can play devil's advocate, she hadn't proven that yet. I mean, if you're gonna say that,
well,
I already know this.
Got to figure it all out because
We're gonna play. You have a federal database in
of
the car.
Her homegirl was outside of the car. No, her homegirl was outside of the car. So it's like, I don't know. Did they already check her papers? You just run the license plate, you find out where the car is. It's just.
It looked like they had just rolled up.
It's
and that they got pissed. It looked like they had just rolled up and they got pissed because she was in the way. That's what it looked like to me.
Legality and morality don't always intersect. And this is the perfect example. Just like how it's technically legal to abduct Maduro. That doesn't make it right. It was technically they're going to be able to argue in court. I don't know if they'll win that it was legal that he shot at her, even though he was out of harm's way and he was to the right of the car. You can see the trajectory of the bullets coming from the side of the car, not in front of the car. It's not like he was on the hood and popping shots. He stepped out of the way and then shot.
Right. Here's two questions. If her car being there was an obstruction of justice or going through, then why didn't they shoot the other car that passed through? Or even try to stop that car?
Yeah, there were other cars driving by. And in the video right after, there were other cars driving through.
So that's
it's sad, man. It's fucking sad. Again, none of this is corroborated, but I was reading that she just got done dropping her 6-year-old off at school. You can see the part where they're pulling shit out of the car, and it's like a kid's backpack. You see the photo of when the car smashed into another car and the doors open. There's kids' toys in the glove box in the front seat.
And the thing is, I'm so reluctant. I know what this looks like at first glance, but I am so reluctant to pass judgment on these videos
because we're only seeing, and we're only seeing a little bit.
Right. And especially after George Floyd, when you find out that George Floyd's death was utterly grifted upon, when you find out that Derek Chauvin was, you could say that he was in the wrong and that he's responsible for George Floyd's death, but you can also say that he was absolutely scapegoated by the Minneapolis Police Department. Like, two things can be true at the same time, right? And so, like, these incidents, while they're so short and they're so fast moving, there can be so many fucking details that we might not know for months, because this is obviously going to be a high profile thing. The president truthed about it in his own asshole way.
Oh, he's such a dick.
And so, like, I know what it looks like at first glance. I'm not a huge fan of law enforcement. I know Bell's not. I know Corey's not. It's hard to give this guy the benefit of the doubt early on, but am I going to be surprised to find out that, like, there are other details involved in this that we don't know about, that might maybe not exonerate this officer, but at least add some context to the situation? Could be. I have no fucking idea. But it's again, fast moving news cycle, second to second. It's second to second now. And I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that train of thought. But it's either way, no matter what, it's bad policing. No matter what, I mean, at best, it's bad policing. 100%. Shooting somebody trying to speed off in a moving vehicle. Like, the amount of people that could have gotten hurt by that woman's foot, just, who knows? No matter what. And like, I don't know how many days are going to pass before Matt Walsh decides to say that she died because she overdosed on fentanyl or something like that. It's probably that shit like that's probably coming. Who knows?
Yeah, no, it is. It's very fast moving. There's a lot of details that need to emerge, but based on the footage and what we know now, it is not a good look at all. Especially when there's video and it shows her going like this, waving cars through. And now is that what we're gonna get to all of a sudden now? Now the right's gonna decipher a hand gesture like the left did a year ago
with the OK symbol, with the OK symbol too. Yeah.
Musk
Oh yeah. The OK.
Yeah. So now you're gonna have the right trying.
Mom Donnie did the same thing.
Right. It's just, yeah, you're gonna see everyone pilfering through this, and everyone's gonna form their own opinion on it. And it's like, I'm trying to avoid being more divisive.
Corey, that's the whole thing, though. No. You're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. Nobody's gonna form their own opinion. Everybody's got their opinion that's been given to them already. Nobody forms an opinion anymore. It's already been given to you. It might have even been given to you by us. Sorry. But that's the world we live in now. There is no there's no critical thinking. There's no that seems weird. What about this other thing that maybe happened? That doesn't exist anymore. It's sad. It fucking drives me nuts. Everybody's already got their opinion. I guarantee you, based on who, and this is so, I hate saying this, but I can guarantee you, based on who you voted for in the last presidential election, you had one of two opinions the very first time you saw this video. Tell me I'm wrong. Because it may have been like me, where I didn't vote for either candidate, and I reserved my opinion. But I guarantee you, if you voted for Kamala Harris, it was murder right off the bat. And if you voted for Donald Trump, it was an ICE agent doing his job right off the bat. And you didn't have a fucking clue what actually happened in that incident. And you cannot tell me I'm wrong about that.
You're not wrong.
Guaranteed.
A little update I found. This was blocks from her house.
You got a picture?
No, this was
the incident happened blocks from her house.
Yeah, Star Tribune is saying that it was like blocks from her house.
And that's the other thing too, right?
Nicole Good, 37, lived in Minneapolis with her partner, just blocks from her house. Just
how
where she was shot.
just how insignificant life is, right? The way you can use somebody's death to either signal virtue in their favor or signal virtue in favor of whatever regime immediately following the incident.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. And it's like it's very similar to like what I said about George Floyd forever. Maybe he did die of a fentanyl overdose. Maybe he did. In fact, it's looking more. It's looked more and more in recent years since the trial of Derek Chauvin and information that's come out since that it is pretty likely that fentanyl overdose at minimum contributed to his death. But did he deserve to die that day? That's the question that I don't think is asked by the people that say fentanyl killed him. Shouldn't have been taking fentanyl.
Right. He
still didn't deserve to die that day. And this woman didn't deserve to die today. I don't care if you think, or even if it comes out that she had committed a crime. She really did try to run that guy over. And it was a self-defense shot. Okay? You could say that he was justified in pulling that trigger. It still doesn't justify her death. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. She died an innocent woman. She was never tried in a court of law for driving her car. I'm not exactly, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, she tried to run him over.
There's reports coming out now, like that Star Tribune talked about how she wasn't even interested in stuff like that. She was probably terrified. Ganger, Donna Ganger told Minnesota Star Tribune that her daughter lived in the Twin. So the mother said, Granger said her daughter is not a part of anything like that at all, referring to protesters challenging ICE agents. And other people are saying that I read, but these are uncorroborated, saying that she just dropped her kid off at school. So she might not even been a part of the protest. She might have just been caught up in it.
Mm-hmm. It's like going to a metal show and accidentally finding yourself in the mosh pit and getting your head stomped in.
Yeah, being at your first metal show. Well, I don't know if anyone's ever had their head stopped in. People are usually pretty friendly when you fall. They help you up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so...
But if you're standing, it's game on.
Like people that were at the... What was the Travis Scott thing where the people got trampled?
Or the Diddy thing at the New York NYCC.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. College.
Wrong place, wrong time.
That's just shitty. Yeah, but being in the wrong place at the wrong time should end up with, like, if the outcome is a death, it shouldn't be by the hands of your own government.
Yeah, and that's part of the defense of this guy. It's like she should have just complied, and had she complied and not committed a crime, she would have been released. And it's like, dude, take 5 seconds to put yourself in her situation. You have a strange man with guns on his waist reaching into your vehicle.
And you got a dog in the car.
You've no clue how you're... Like, everybody always thinks they know how they're going to react, right? Like, I don't mean to bring this up, but it's kind of the same concept of, like, when people try to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Grieve shame people, like the Erica Kirk situation. Like how, like people try to tell her how she's supposed to grieve her husband's death. And we're no defenders of Erica Kirk. She puts herself out there. She deserves some of the criticism that she gets, but she's still allowed to be a grieving widow in her own way, right? Like,
right.
You don't know how you don't get to tell somebody how they're supposed to react to a situation that you've never even been close to being in. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That's fair. Yeah, it's sad all around.
It's very similar. It's very similar to when people are like supportive of the death penalty. What do I always say? And you say this too, Corey. It's better to release 10 criminals or not kill 10 criminals and keep them in prison for life than it is to kill one innocent person that was convicted of a crime they didn't commit. And I've had people be like, nope, gotta kill all the bad guys. And it's just like, dude, I hope you're never convicted of a crime you did not commit. And I hope nobody close to you is ever convicted of a crime that they didn't commit.
Yeah.
Put yourself in that situation. And now you're dead, and 30 years later, new evidence comes out that you didn't commit that crime. Oh well. Can't do anything about it now. They're dead. When you could have shittily spent 30 years in prison, but at least maybe you get, I don't know, 10, 20 years left as a free man that you don't get now because you're fucking dead.
Right. I'd rather be alive and locked up than dead.
I didn't mean to go on, especially if you know you didn't commit the crime and you know you still have a chance. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on and get all boo-hooey on you. You got TikToks for us, Corey? I don't think we need to read Trump's truth. You can go find it. He was just being an asshole as usual.
Yeah, just a real
dick. And speculate. Can we call him the speculator in chief, by the way?
I don't know. He's just a piece of shit after that one. Like, just straight up lying. Just straight
first there
up
was the
fucking lying.
First there was the Rob Reiner one, and now there's this one.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's lighten the mood with some TikToks.
Let's lighten the mood with some TikToks. Here's a TikTok with this guy, one of those people on the street with the microphone, talking about left-wing academics.
Oh, boy. Did I send you this one?
Left-wing academics. Left-wing academics don't need the gym. They build their strength by pulling the ladder up on poor people. The same people who will never be invited to their think tank about wealth redistribution. So they speak up and talk down from their podium-shaped soapbox to an audience of people who already agree with them. The university-industrial complex absorbs all forms of radicalism and makes it civilized, turning dissent into a consumer choice, protest into product, and the yellow jacket into a shiny pink bow. Speaking truth to power in double-spaced Times New Roman means they can critique the very system that they actively benefit from. Doing the work consists of publishing a paper behind the paywall that no one outside their university can read, using language no one outside their university can understand, about people who will never set foot inside one. Congratulations, your oppression now has inclusion criteria. When academics got recruited, they got given a lanyard and a dictionary of liberation with about 10 to 15 buzzwords that are so vague they could literally mean anything. But at least they can wear their doctorate Martens to the lecture hall and drink free coffee in conferences they had to pay to speak at, and attend diversity workshops where white people talk about intersectionality like they understand it firsthand. They say borders are man-made and we need more third spaces, but they can't break free from their echo chamber. And with no plan to reach people who aren't already in the fold, their defense strategy is to look down their nose at idiots who don't have a college degree, so they must be stupid, because moral superiority is the back door for class hatred, a smug satisfaction in not having an answer for the people you're meant to be helping. So for academics, the revolution will be sterilized and peer-reviewed in obscure journal articles that you don't have access to. The rise of the far right is largely unexamined in left-wing academia. They think it's beneath their pay grade and beyond analysis. But when marginalized communities are told they should care about politics, but all they get is morality without material solutions, you create the very conditions for fascism to flourish. The academic left stopped knocking on doors and handing out flyers, retreating from the street to find their seat in a seminar. While the right were fear-mongering and turning scared people against foreigners, the academy were workshopping titles for a conference about ontologies of revolution. Why is there a baby there? Dear academics, this isn't a question, it's more of a comment. When you try to build a fairer society but just use language that excludes people, you silently reproduce the power structures you claim to stand against. Using words like accessibility, inclusivity, and empowerment, but never mentioning who grants access, who gets included, and where the power comes from, means you just preach inequality and signal elitism. Because deep down, you don't want to change the world. You just want to theorize its decline and get cited for it. Can you hold this? Left-wing academics.
That's it for that one.
Honestly, dude, I cannot. I would have to watch that video probably 3 or 4 times. But I think that guy needs to go on Michael Malice's show. That's all. That's all I can say, because I sent you a video. John Stossel interviewed Michael Malice. I don't think Bell has it, and that's okay. He doesn't have to play it. But Michael Malice talking about academia and about how essentially professors at this point are completely unskilled, terrible human beings that essentially all they do is they just run around and lord their credentials over people. And that's mostly what academia is at this point. And then they go, you don't have a degree. You don't have a degree. You're an idiot. You can't possibly know anything if you don't have this little piece of paper that says you know things. And I think that's basically what that guy was going for.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just the elitism. Next, hey, Belle, you see that in the private chat? The next one, I think I might have shared this one with you guys. But
it's all right, I'll watch it again.
I don't know if I did or not. But it's funny because it's actually this comedian I also follow on Facebook. He shared it, but it's a Hassan Piker video.
I bet it's great.
He's calling out like the hypocrisy that's behind the Venezuelan shit.
Shut up, bitch!
You find it, Bell?
He's looking. His computer's just being slow. It's his
So
trailer park computer that he's got over there.
Hey now.
We have white privilege.
So go ahead and add that one to the stage because we can just play that one right now.
Run it. Run it.
Run that shit.
Smash that like button.
Uh-oh.
Didn't Jimmy Dore accuse Hassan Piker of beating up his dog?
Wow, that's freaking awesome.
Go ahead, start it
Unfortunately,
off real
however, you didn't ask my permission to do it. Would have
Start
said
it
yes,
over.
by the way. Exactly. What you did fucked me up. And let me tell you why. Because I would have been there with you. And you didn't let me get time at the podium. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so fucking busted. Crazy how many statements by elected Democrats on the Venezuela stuff are like, wow, that's freaking awesome. Unfortunately, however, you didn't ask my permission to do it. Would have said yes, by the way. Exactly. What you did.
It's true.
Yeah, it's so like it's hard to see on the screen, but the comedian says it's crazy how many statements by elected Democrats on the Venezuela stuff are like, wow, that was freaking awesome. Unfortunately, however, you didn't ask for my permission to do it. And then in parentheses it says, would have said yes, by the way.
It's dude, I'm so glad you played that video because it's kind of a point on the Venezuela stuff that I just didn't really get to. I didn't throw it in my notes. And it's more or less just what the hell's happening to our screen right now? It's you have not seen outside of like the Bernie Sanders style Democrats, you haven't seen anybody in the Democratic Party come out and go against this. Why? Because they're all boomer neocons. They're all fine with it. And it would go the same way if in an alternate universe, Joe Biden were president right now.
It probably would have still happened. Just maybe the
No.
would have been different.
So let's just say it literally plays out the same way. And I know what Trump supporters will say. Joe Biden never would have had the balls to do this. And I actually think I agree with you. I don't think he would have done it. But had it happened, you would have Republicans doing the same thing. They would not be condemning it. They would be like, but the procedure was wrong. Because that's all Democrats are doing right now. Procedurally, this was wrong, and you're not supposed to do it like
Go
this.
Bills.
Exactly. That's Chuck Schumer's response to this whole thing. Because they're all neocons. All of them.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't.
Anything else?
All my people are getting attacked.
Go Bills.
Oh, man.
You have any other TikToks for us?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, look at that. It's a nice buttoned up little episode in an hour and 45 minutes. With all that stuff that happened. It's easy. Why don't you tell the people where they can find us, Corey?
Sure. Libservative Podcast is found on all social media and podcast platforms. Our website is libservativeshow.com. We can be found at Libservative on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Instagram and Twitter at LibservativePod. Our TikTok videos can be found at Libservative Podcast, and you can reach out directly at libservativepod@gmail.com. Subscribe today.
Go Bills.
Smash that like button.
Go Bills.
And never forget.
Go Bills.
You're gay.
Go Bills.
Bills are in the playoffs, so Chuck Schumer's pretty happy. For Bell the Body Snatcher on the ones and twos, he as always has been Corey Walsh.
And he's Dan Griffin.
It's been Libservative Intellectual Idiots fostering political and cultural literacy and the world's smartest internet show.
Shut up, bitch!
And until next time, we are out of here.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back. Somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.